What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Stop and Refuel. It's Mo, and let's go ahead and get started. I know a lot of people have had this question pop up of how do I get the best answer from these AI language models? Because there's so many new ones popping up day in and day out, and they all seem to do the same things, but I still am getting the same type of responses I've been getting. All right, so in this video today, we're gonna go over the whole anatomy on how to make that prompt look good, the way you want it to, so you can get the answer that you want. So in this quick video, we're gonna understand, hey, what are some goals that we can tell this AI model to understand so it knows what exactly we want at the end, understanding what kind of format that we want returned to us for our answer, understanding what kind of warnings and limitations we want to set in this prompt to make sure that this AI model doesn't talk or touch those certain things, as well as adding a little bit of context, a little context dump to it so it understands a little bit more about what you're trying to get from whatever added context you can provide. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first step is to tell the LLM your goal. Tell this language model what it is that you want to do. Are you trying to summarize some content? Are you trying to write some type of code? Are you trying to create a social media calendar or something like that? You want to go ahead and articulate exactly, hey, I want you to do this, or by the end of this is what I want. So it can understand what's the goal in mind. And this is important to let it know this first so it can make it its main priority. And a little example of this could be, hey, I want you to summarize this text into just 2 sentences or 2 paragraphs. It's just understanding what's the goal, what do you want? The next thing I want you to be able to do is to define your return format. And this is just understanding, hey, how do I want the AI to give me this information back? How do I want my answer? Do I want it in something like a bullet point? Do I want list? Do I want a table? Do I want paragraphs? So many different things, but it saves you so much time because it's based on how you interpret the information that's given you. You know, you're somebody that prefers a table, use a table. I'm a table type person. If I'm asking for a lot of information, I'm like, hey, this might be easier to view in a table where I have columns and rows, understanding what information correlates with what information. Even if you already have it in a certain format, you can always ask the model to change the type of format to fit your needs. So figure out what kind of format works best for you whenever you're talking to these AI models. The next thing is to understand what kind of warnings and limitations you want to set. And that's basically letting the AI know, hey, here are the boundaries when it comes to your prompt. Here are the boundaries of this prompt and what I don't want you to talk about, or some guidelines that I want you to follow to make sure I'm getting the answer that I want. And it's important to do this because you can avoid the AI talking or bringing up certain topics that you don't want it to mention. You can avoid specific errors or let it know, hey, I'm gonna have a lot of spelling errors in this right here. So go ahead and avoid all that and don't try to, pay too much attention to it as well. Or you can make sure that it's staying between some type of ethical guidelines or topic guidelines, like, hey, don't use explicit language, or hey, make sure you're only pulling information from a place that's verifiable, a reputable source, because you don't want to have any information that you're probably telling other people or anything like that may not be true information. Or if you're using this information for a project or for whatever you're using it, you want it to be as accurate as it can be. And the final thing, like I said, is that context dump right there. So with the context dump, you're just adding a little bit of reference, a little bit of background information. More the better, because you want it to understand what you're trying to do or what you're trying to gain. But at the same time, you can refrain and not give it as much information as you want. It's all up to you. So if you're a business owner, you can say, hey, here's my brand voice, here's some of our company history or about, here's our target audience, help me out with whatever I was asking for previously and stuff like that. That's the context that you want to give it so it can understand and go based off that context when it's going after that main goal, looking through the guidelines, making sure it's not doing that, and also looking at those warnings too. So to bring it all together, whenever you're creating this prompt, I want you to first state your goal. Next, I want you to define your return format and how you want it. Next, I want you to list any type of warnings, guidelines, boundaries that you want to set when it comes to the answer you want to receive. And finally, I want you to go ahead and sprinkle a little context on it so the AI system can understand a little bit more about something that it may not have known about, especially if it's something personal, especially if it's about a project or an idea or something that you're trying to do as well. And with these 4 steps, you'll be creating a lot better prompts. Like, these prompts will be really good. Your answers will be a lot better. You'll be getting exactly what you want out of these systems, because now you're tailoring these prompts to make sure you're covering all the bases, all right? And I hope this video really helped. If it provided some type of insight to you, go ahead and make sure to tap that like button, hit a subscribe, comment for me. Let me know what kind of favorite features or things you like to do when it comes to prompting, so you can get the best answers that you want to get at the same time. And in this video, we're going to go over the whole anatomy on how to make a great prompt, all right?